What can a box of cigarettes and a cigarette and an apple tell us about the world of health today? Well, in this painting that I created, which is an oil on canvas, we'll go in detail into those concepts. When it comes to what's considered healthy today, whether it's foods, drinks, whatever you're consuming, with this label as being healthy, there's the possibility that when you research into it, you might find some sort of, article or research actually putting the proposition that the food you thought was healthy is actually unhealthy, and there might be some sort of suspected carcinogen in them. For example, the big food marketing strategy right now is to label every food as being protein enhanced or having more protein than usual. And this is done to appeal to the weightlifting and fitness culture that's growing exponentially. And when you see these foods, your brain immediately thinks, oh, it has more protein. It's protein enhanced. It must be healthy for you. It must be better for you than the original. But when in reality, you look on the back and see that it has ingredients that are actually just as bad and terrible for you as the original. So this just all culminates into this idea of health untruth, truth in today's society. And that's where the painting comes into play, because if you look at it, obviously it's a box of cigarettes. And as we know, and in my opinion, if there is one health truth that we for sure can say is a truth, it's that cigarettes are terrible for you and will result in terrible, long-lasting health consequences. The apple then being in stark contrast to the cigarettes, as it is a product of nature. It does not care for these labels of healthy, unhealthy, or nutrition facts, or calories, or any of those logical matters. It simply exists. It's a product of nature. It grew from the ground. But then, why is there a cigarette in the apple? Well, because it moves into this whole entire other concept of food manipulation, which is that we as humans have been manipulating food for so long that eventually, and to be specific, in the 1950s, we had to make a term as, unhealthy food. Junk food came about as a term to describe foods that were, purposely made unhealthy for you. And unfortunately, the apple has been affected by this manipulation. For the people unaware, humans have been manipulating vegetables and fruits for a very long time now. And I guess the question posed by this painting is, will the apple eventually descend into this question of truth, untruth in, regards to healthiness? And there already is this distinction that we know of now, which is organic and unorganic apples. Turning back to the cigarette, it is symbolic of heavy human manipulation. It was once a naturally grown product, that being tobacco leaves, and then it was extracted, consolidated, manipulated, and transformed and, mixed with additives to make the cigarette. And you could go even further and say that it was, picked up by all these companies. The cigarette was made to be marketable. You can see the box with all of the red. There's nothing natural about it anymore. I guess you could say this is in tune with the French philosopher Jean Baudrillard's idea of simulacra and simulation. And essentially what the simulacra is, it's when there's a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and then said copies no longer represent the original, or there was no original whatsoever. With all of that being said, I guess the solution, or at least temporary solution nowadays, is to just eat as much natural foods as you can. Try not to eat processed foods. Cook your own food, even though we might be descending in this weird world of not knowing what is actually healthy and unhealthy. And most importantly, do not smoke. It is terrible for you. Even though it may look cool from this painting, it is bad for you. Do not smoke. And that's pretty much all I got. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Go on the website. There's a lot more paintings on there. And thank you for watching.